Hello guys, welcome to CodeRug. Hope you are doing great. Once again, welcome to React.js complete series. In today's video, we are going to learn how you can change port of your React application. Let's get started. As we know, React application uses port 3000 to run your application. When we run the command npm start to run an application, it opens up the browser and you can see it uses the port 3000 to run your application. As I already have one React application which I have previously installed. Now if you see, I'm already running using the command npm start and it automatically open up the browser. If not, then you can use this local URL to run your application. But in my case, it is automatically running. Now you can see it uses the port 3000 to run your application. By default, it uses 3000 port. This one is React application which I have created previously. So don't worry about this one. You can just check the port which my application is using. Now, please note there are three different ways to change port. Okay, so we are going to discuss how you can change port of your React application. There are three different ways to change port of your React application. First approach is setting up environment variable using command line cmd. That means in first approach we are going to set an environment variable using command line. This one is the command line, and once we set port into your application, then we can see the reflection of that one. We will go through details of this change and we will see in the live practical way. The second approach is modify package.json file. In second approach, as you can see, whenever you install application, you always get one package.json file, and in this package.json file you can change the port, and then whatever port number you will give, that one you can able to see in your URL. Now the third approach is to install npm package, which is Nodc Package Manager package you have to install in your application. And once you install that application package, you can able to set an environment variable to that one, and then you can able to see that same port number to your application. Now at first we are going to see the live and practical way how you can change the port using cmd. At first you can see I have one URL which is already up and running. Now I'm going to change, or I can say I'm going to close this application. Now what I can do, you can see I'm already in my root of my project application, my first step. This is my root of my application. You have to go to your root of application, and then you can write set port and whatever port number you want to give. So in my case I'm giving 8000. Click enter. Once you make this one, again write a command npm start. Once you hit enter, it will take some while to run your application. So for that moment we can wait. Okay, it is starting. Okay, now you can see it changes my port from 3000 to 8000 and it is up and running. Now if you try to run the same one, it will not work because we have changed our port number to 8000. So this is the first approach we have tried how you can change your port number. But please note, the port number which we have set is not persistent, means it is only recognized in the current session. If you, for example, close the window, you need to set up the environment variable again. That means if I close this terminal and then again if I go into root of my application and again if I write npm start, I will not able to see 8000 as my port number, because this is only for current session of your terminal. Again if I close this browser, it will get vanished. Now the second approach which we have seen is modify package.json file. Now in this approach, what we can do, at first we will go to our application and open package.json file, and you can see script start, and that's what we write command npm start. Now what we can do, as I'm using window, so for window the command is set port, and right now I'm giving 3006 and because previously it was 3000 default one, after that we have changed to 8000. Now I'm doing 3006 as my port number. Now I'm going to close my terminal. I will save my file. Again I will go to root of my application and I will write cmd, and then I will write npm start. Once I hit enter, it says set port 3000 and react script start. Now it is again starting my development server. Okay, so that means it is now running on port number 3006. So we can just wait while it is loading up. But if you check the previous port, if you want to check is it running, no, it will not. Even the 8000 also, it will not run in any way. Only this 3006 will run. It is loading. Okay, so it is up and running. Now what we did, basically we just change package.json file, set port 3006. You can give whatever port number you want to give, and then just hit enter and write npm start, and it will open up your application with the latest port number which you have given. So that means this is the second approach we have tested. But once done, it will start your server and it will be up and running. And that means if you are running this application, even now if you close this application, even after that if you run npm start as well, it will open up that same port number which you have given. So that means it will be persistent for your project. Now the third approach is to install npm package. That means this is the third approach which we can follow to install npm package for setting up environment variable. In this case I will use .env as a Node Package Manager. So what I can do, .env as a package manager to save my environment variable. So this is Node Package Manager. So this we can say it's a library of all the packages which you can able to use for your application. So I'm going to use .env. I'm just going to copy this command to install my application, this package. I will close this and npm install .env. So basically you have to go into root of your application and then just write npm i.env. I means install. It's like short form of install. So it is installing that same package. So we can just wait for that particular time period. And what it basically do was, this package will get installed, we have to create one .env file in the root of our project. That means this is our root where we have package.json and other files, package.log.json. So this is our root of our project. Now here we have to create .env1 file, and once we create that file we can do port and then port number we want to give. Once we do that one, we can able to run the command npm start, and then it will have the same port which we have defined inside env variable. Okay, so that means this package is installed, you can say. Now what we can do, we can just verify. Okay, you can see in dependencies it is already installed. Now I will just remove this, the one which we have tested, the second approach we can say. Okay, now at what we can do, we have to create .env file in the root of our project. So we'll create one file .env, and once we create that file, what we can do, we can write port is equal to, now in my case I'm giving 6000. I will save this file. Now in package.json it is totally clean as it was by default one. Now I'm going to start npm start. Once I hit enter, again it will start the development server for us. But you can see all the previous port will not up and running because it is going to start the new port for us. Okay, it is starting the development server. Okay, there is some, might be temporary down or maybe root. Okay, there is some configuration issue might be there, but you can see it is using the port number 6000 which we have defined in our env, or we can say environment variable. That means we have tested all the three approaches to change our port number. First, changing through cmd, modify JSON file, and by installing Nodc Package Manager. But one thing you have to be careful, whatever port number we are defining, those port number has to be whitelisted on your server. Now if I'm using suppose 8000 port number, now if that 8000 port number is not whitelisted or it is not configured in your server, then it will not work for your application. So always be careful while using those port numbers. So we have seen all the three ways to change your port number. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you guys.